Hang on to your seat, baby, because this one's a screamer. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Anything you want me to, I don't really like it, but my dad is just the yeah. All right, let me stop. Shout out to y'all showing love to the Instagram post, y'all. Now follow me on Instagram. Follow me on the personal Instagram, y'all. Don't just follow the blog. Follow me on personal Instagram, okay? What is going on, entertainers? So today I'm coming to y'all with another video. We doing the Hollywood Hot Topics, y'all. I also want to make a quick announcement. Some of you guys like to listen like on the way to work or whatever. So soon to come, I'm going to be on Spotify and on like digital platforms such as Spotify. So you guys will be able to listen to me. For the ones that don't like watch and listen, you get what I'm saying? The ones that be like on a car ride to a location, work or event, whatever. I'm gonna be on there soon. Okay. Dr. Miami, you guys, is being exposed by a past worker of his that ran his social media. If y'all remember, she used to run his social media and had his social media like blowing up. While it's been a few years since she's worked with him, well, she decided to go on TikTok and give us a little 5-parter story time. Break down what happened, why she stopped working with him, why she feels like she got finessed, okay, in a very detailed way. Now, what's bad in her situation is she was not only a social media manager, but she was also working somewhat of another position for him. So she was kind of basically doing double the work for not as much money as she really deserved.
You're gonna want to sit down for this. Reasons why I left Dr. Miami, guys. Honestly, I would have never told this story, but every 6 months, like actually clockwork, this man makes a video that references me in like a funny way. And it brings so many people to my account. And they're like, what happened with Dr. Miami? What's the beef? Why do you hate him? You thought you were bigger than the program? Like all this fucking bullshit. And it's so like, I'm like, free me. And maybe it took like 2 years for me to figure it out. But like the only person who could free me from this situation is me. Like, and the only way I can be freed is with the truth. So I'm literally just gonna tell you guys. And like, there are parts that are like, what the fuck? And then there are parts that it's just like, yeah, which is also why I never told this story, because you're going to hear some examples that you're like, what the fuck? But someone's millionaire boss treating them like shit, exploiting them and like undervaluing them is not unique. That is happening everywhere in the world. That is happening every day in America. And it's more often the case than not. Which is why like the theories would be coming out and I'm like, yeah, guys, like you're all right. Actually, like everyone is right. So like the reason why I left Dr. Miami is not super dissimilar from why you guys would leave your jobs. Like, I guess the only difference is that like it was more personal for me, because when you don't like your boss, when you don't like what they stand for, when you don't like how they treat you, you could just say, fuck it, I'm going in, I'm clocking in 9 to 5, and you leave. And you're like, fuck my boss. Whereas like me, I'm not just like doing my job. I'm making everyone think that this guy's goated. Like I'm posing my personality onto him, like making him like making him hella woke, making him like a champion for women's rights and wrongs, like making him a fan of X.
See, that's the problem right there. And that's why I can't be like, I can't be an assistant to nobody, because you don't know why. I'm gonna feel away if I have to basically teach you certain things in regards to your personality, and then you're coming off as that type of person and getting all the credit and praise. Meanwhile, it's really me that's putting that all onto you. And I remember seeing Dr. Miami's videos, and I used to always think that I'm like, there's nobody his age that lives in the area he lives in. You know what I'm saying? Is that, creative and that opinionated, especially on certain things, and, agrees with certain things that he would post. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I always looked at that kind of funny, So this all kind of makes sense once I watched the whole Storytime.
XYZ celebrities. Like, I'm giving him like online my personality so that you guys fuck with him. And he couldn't be more opposite from all of that. So I'm like, not just like myself being like, yo, fuck this job, but I'm also having you guys think that he's the GOAT, which is crazy. Like, I was so good at my job and like making him look that good that there are people to this day who dick ride him over me. They're like, she thought that she was bigger than the program. I was like, girl, you only think that because I made you think that. Like, what? And I say that humbly. And when I tell this story, I like someone I really admire their storytelling was like Risa Tisa, because I think it's important to acknowledge like your wrongs and the places where like you have fault and you should have done better. And so like I will, but also the beauty of telling the story 2 years later is that like I think I've calmed down a lot from the situation, and I just want to tell you like how it happened. And I'll tell you like this happened and this is what I thought about the situation. Like my thoughts are not truth. Like that's just what I thought. But this happened. Okay. So yeah. I
By
think
the
like
way, she's so Miami coded. I mean, like, oh my God, like, everything happened like the way that it happened. And I'm like, wow, like this is like crazy. If you know, you know. Okay. Now let's go on to part one.
okay, sorry guys.
And it's titled Why I Left Dr. Miami. Part one, money.
Part one. I actually posted my video and then fell asleep fully. But people are saying that I said a whole lot of nothing. I'm like a crazy, like how I tell stories is really crazy, but I just said I'm just gonna do 3 parts for brevity's sake, and I'll just break it down into like the category. I think it was first category was the pay. So I had never had a job in marketing, and it was kind of like a crazy transition when I became his social media manager. So originally they hired me to be half administrative assistant, half social media person, and I was getting paid $25 an hour as a full-time employee. But then within like the first 1 to 2 months working there, obviously the TikToks were popping the fuck off. And we kind of just decided I'm only going to be doing social media. But obviously, taking videos of someone does not take a lot of time. So I would be there, like committed to be there Monday through Friday. But my hours were like pretty much part time. Like I would work a couple hours and then leave. So making $25 an hour, like in a year, I made 40K. Like before taxes, and it just like was not enough to survive. And people would literally be commenting like, you need a raise, you need a raise, you need a raise, and he'd be like kiki 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 like in the comments. Meanwhile I'm like, nah bro, like I need a raise. Like even his kids would be like, give her a raise, whatever. So at one point I'm like, I go to the office manager Rosie, who's like his sister-in-law and also like part of the business. She runs everything. And I'm like, I love you guys, but like, I cannot, this is like early in the beginning. I cannot work here because mama, I need to pay rent. Also, I had so much shit going on in my personal life that like, my main goal was like, I need to move out and like make my circumstances like better. And she was like, we can't give you a raise, like, sorry. And it was so crazy because I had taken their account from like 1.1 million followers and 5% engagement to like 3.2 million followers and 25% engagement in like 1 year, like literally unheard of. And so like unheard of past 2020, like 2020, that was like kind of an easy thing to do with an account. Not just that, I did insanely good PR for him. Like before I got his account, motherfuckers did not like him. Like if you looked his name up on Twitter, it was actually jump scare. So she rejected my raise ask, which becomes a theme. Like every time I ask for a raise, they always tell me no. And it's almost like demoralizing because I'm like, bro, I cannot be doing a better job at this job than anyone is in the fucking industry. And like the comment section is telling you that I need to get paid a decent living. Like, why can't I just get paid like a normal person? So then I'm like, okay, wait. So I asked her, I'm like, okay, instead of a raise, can I just come in, instead of coming in 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, can I come in 3 days a week and I'll do the exact same amount of videos in that time. At the time, I was doing 2 videos a day, 60 videos a month. Even on the days I wasn't working, I was posting, I was commenting, I was doing everything, whatever. And she's like, okay. And like, basically, I'm like, the exact same amount of money I get paid in my like part-time rate, basically. Can we just make it a fixed rate each month? And I'll make 60 videos a month. And I come in 3 days a week instead of 5 days a week. And she's like, yeah, okay, we'll consider that a raise. I'm like, well, it's not really a raise because you're getting the exact same.
And this is why the ultimate goal for myself is to run my own business and work for myself for the rest of my life, because ain't no way. Are you serious?
Now, I know you ain't doing that. I can't believe you did this. That's why I don't tell you nothing. Because why you do that? Why I do what?
These companies will literally swindle the hell out of you. And let me tell y'all the worst type of businesses to work for. It'd be the ones that are family ran. If it is family ran and they're, connected and interconnected and all that, run. Go left, go right. Okay? Don't stay. Straight up. Because you're going to end up in a situation like that. Because they're always going to have each other's backs. They're going to make you feel like the crazy one. And I can guarantee you that's where it's going to go, to where she's going to talk about how they made her feel crazy for wanting more and better for herself. Because guess what? They're family. They're always going to have each other's backs.
Same output for your input, but like, that's fine. Like, I was like, at least if I work here only 3 days a week, I can get another job and make a living, guys. Welcome to America. But then like the double-edged sword of that is like, okay, now I have more time to get another client and maybe get paid better by that person. But now that I'm like part-time or whatever it is, I don't qualify for like full-time benefits like healthcare and 401k and things like that like are kind of fucking important. So literally for a year and a half, I'm working in a doctor's office and I don't even have healthcare, which is crazy. And like,
oh my God,
I think the part that kills me the most is like, kind of like what I said, like all this is happening. I feel super undervalued, which I mean happens at every fucking job. Like it's happened before. So honestly, this is the part, like money part, but it's not even the more important part to me. But this is happening. And then everyone on the internet thinks that like he's the fucking GOAT. The office is the GOAT, that they're so nice. Oh my God. And another thing was like, when they gave me that raise, which basically was just like, wait, come in less days, do the exact same amount of work. They were like, literally do not tell anyone, by the way, that we gave you a raise because you get paid more than some of the people who worked here for 10 years. And I was literally fucking flabbergasted. And then when they transitioned me to like that 3-day-a-week thing, kind of like constantly I would be asked to do like more. But by the time like they'd be like, oh, like you're here, you should do Snapchat. You're here, we should do YouTube. You're here, we should do like this, that, the next. Like, wait, why don't you find us a brand manager so we can make money? And if we get a brand deal, you can get a percentage, which he did get brand deals. I got no percentage, even though I literally recorded, posted all the videos. That's fine. I didn't think I needed that, whatever. They were charging other.
And that is another mistake. Stuff like that. Nowadays, you got to get everything in writing. You cannot take people word of mouth for nothing, because they'll sell you a dream and then end up leaving you with nada, zilch, zero. Okay? So had she got that in writing, she would have been able to take their asses to court and get some money from this. Because Dr. Miami makes a lot of money. Okay? He is one of the most popular, he was one of the most famous. That's about it.
Doctors who would like come to the office and like basically learn how to do TikTok from me. They would charge them like 5 to 15K for one day. I would not make any part of that. I would still be getting paid my normal rate. So it wasn't just like, I didn't really care about no, I did care about the money. Like after a while, it became kind of like disrespectful. It was like, what the fuck? And what makes it more disrespectful is like that man cares so much about money, because I'll get into the next part. When they were not making like money, which I'll explain why, he would have the craziest crash outs. So it's like, for someone who is so obsessed with money and the concept of having to pay for things, why can't you understand that other people have to make a living too? Like literally crazy. And when I left, I remember they posted like a listing, like hiring $25 an hour, and everyone's like, that's how much she was getting paid. But it's like, it's not even that bad, guys, because $25 at a full-time rate is not bad. But I was like part-time, like, okay, for the accountability part. So Rosie, his practice manager, was like also became like my really good friend. So like we would do a lot of things together. Like we did CrossFit for like a full year together. We get our hair done together, whatever. And there was like a lot of things that like she would buy for me, like pay for me for, like my gym membership, like one time a spa thing, like a Harry Styles bag. Obviously, like I went on vacations with them, but like it was also partially for work because I was partially hanging out with Rosie, partially making TikTok videos. And like that happened, but like I feel like in hindsight, and even sometimes during that time, I would think like she's kind of only doing this so that I don't like really ask for a raise. So she could just be like, well, like I pay for your gym membership. Like she wouldn't say that, but it was more like it was almost like accepting a bribe kind of. I was like, okay, like no, I know I can't give you a raise, but like I'll buy your lunch today, kind of thing. And like in
I remember for y'all that follow the vlogging channel, remember that ass job I had? This mother had the nerve to give me an 8. I think it was like a 10-cent raise. It was something in the cents. I gotta go look. That's when I knew I was gonna quit. It was no more than 20 cents of a raise. I said, so you mean to tell me you basically helped me a little bit out when it came to taxes? Cause I ain't gonna see that amount. I hope you know that, right? That's when I knew I had to quit that damn job. I'm telling y'all, like right now, I feel like with the state of the economy, it's so bad right now. Even though this happened a few years ago and she's just now giving her story, imagine a situation like that now. Highway robbery.
hindsight, I wish I just like put my foot down more, but because she was kind of like the boss, like that's who I would have to ask for a raise, and she was like my friend. It felt like it was so much harder to do, and it was like kind of a weird power dynamic. Another thing I remember that like blew my mind was like one time they told me like because they worked with these doctors, these other doctors to promote them, and they were like, wait, what if what if like you need to make money, right? What if we because they worked with these doctors, these other doctors to promote them, and they were like, wait, what if what if like you need to make money, right? What if we like ask the other doctors if they want your TikTok ideas, and then like they'll pay us and we'll give you a percentage. And I'm like, why would you get the percentage if it's my idea? I was so confused. But again, nothing crazy there because hello, welcome to every business and every millionaire in America ever. But whatever. Okay, so that is the money part.
All right. And then she then continues with the other problems that she had working there. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this as well, just because right now, when it comes to jobs and job hunting, like people will be stuck in situations like this and will deal with it just because it's so overly saturated with the amount of people that are unemployed that it's like the littlest thing that you get, you make sure to keep it and you don't lose it because you may not get anything better than what you have. As sad as it is.
Okay, part two, why I left Dr. Miami. This is gonna be his personality. I started off with the pay because it's like the most like there's so many other parts that I probably forgot about because you guys wanted me to be succinct, but that's probably the least emotional part of it because it's just like pay is pay, like that's math. Like the value I'm giving you is not the value I was getting, and that is simple. But the personality aspect is hard because not only do we have his personality, which is like erratic, insane, like he's the kind of person that like he has no concept of like good or bad. It just like everything to him is good. Like he believes like all press is good press. Like it doesn't matter what you're saying about him, as long as he's getting attention, he loves it. Like his number one objective in life is money. Like that's all he gives a fuck about. So like if the attention could lead to money, that's all he fucking cares about. But we're not just dealing with his personality. there's the practice manager who's Rosie and like my good friend at the time. And at the time, I wasn't able to, I was like too close to the situation to recognize that like.
And what's so crazy about this story, Rosie is the reason why she stayed longer, because that's why you got to really be careful in corporate America, because there's these types of managers. Oh my God, that's why I cannot wait to drop this finance job story time. Child, this is why that show couldn't cast me. I be talking too much, but I don't care because it's like, oh, people really be trying you, dog. Like, okay, the freaking manager at the finance job, whatever, he would freaking like always like buy us like lunch and like breakfast, whatever, and like low key be so demeaning and treat us like crap. And that used to irritate the living crap out of me. And I'm like, you think I give a crap about getting Panera bread, you little prick, when I could buy it my damn self? Giving us Panera bread and stuff to kind of shut us up. I remember one time he snapped on my coworker so bad. She like gagged. And he was like, oh, I'm gonna go pick up the Panera bread. And gave us like these subs. I'm like, this piece of crap, bro. Like, oh my God. Y'all, I'm gonna drop this to y'all, don't worry.
Though she was my friend, she was my boss at the end of the day, and the person whose side she was always going to take was his. And so even when he was being himself, which was actually fucking insane, she was kind of just like the person who would like do the cleanup job, right? Like the emotional cleanup job. And I felt like really connected to her, which is why for a long time, like I didn't leave. Why also when I left, I didn't want to say anything bad about him because I didn't want to hurt the other people that are close to him, like Rosie, his kids, like his wife, like people that like just don't deserve to catch a stray on his behalf. But so you get an understanding of his personality and like how just like he just like doesn't, he has like no social cues. And it's not about his intent, it's about his impact. When I first started working there, he looked at me and was like, you need arm lipo. Like, no one asked.
And it saddens me, Kelly.
Abby in this clip needed arm lipo.
And it saddens me, Kelly.
Eventually she got it. Oh my God. I can't. I would have been like, bet, can you give it to me for free? Thanks.
I was like, you need 22-year-old girl, like you have fat arms, you need arm lipo. And I was like, I thought it was a joke at the time. Like I was like, yeah, but he would bring it up so consistently that it became like a complex of mine. And I started to go to CrossFit with Rosie for 1 full year to spot train my arms. And every month we would go.
I'm sorry. Oh my God, I can't.
No, I didn't see it coming. We can't hear you, girl. Talk a little louder, like how when you suck.
Oh man.
To his office, and Rosie with a tape measure would measure my arms, and he would literally laugh and be like, you're not down, just get the arm lipo, just get the arm lipo, just get the arm lipo. And eventually I did, and like my arms look great, but like, is that an appropriate thing to say to your employee? Like, what the fuck? But like to him, it's not inappropriate or anything. It's just like, yeah, like your arms are fat, you need arm lipo. So that you understand how other people like enabled his behavior. So 4 or 5 days after I get arm lipo, I'm in so much pain. My arms are burning because like all this fluid would build up. And they get asked to go to Louisiana to collab with this doctor. And the doctor is paying them $30K for the day. And they tell me, you have to go. Obviously, because it's TikTok related, it's like, you have to be there. And I'm like, well, I am in so much pain. I don't want to go. And they're like, well, you have to go. Mind you, when I would go on these trips with them, like for business or for vacation, whatever it was, I was not getting paid overtime or extra work. It was literally like that same rate that I had negotiated at the very beginning. I was not getting paid a percentage, any like nothing. And the day that we're going to Louisiana, my arms are filled with fluid. I had actually gone to like their hospital thing at midnight to try to get them drained, and I couldn't. And I'm in the airport, I'm telling him my arms are in so much pain, I need to drain them. And he's like, stop being a fucking baby. Like, you're being a baby. And this is not just my employer at this point, right? This is my doctor who owes me a degree of medical care. And I have to continue to like take, like, I'm being serious. And he's like, when we get there, we'll drain your arms. When we get there, we'll drain your arms, whatever. So obviously we get there and we don't drain my arms because obviously we get there and Rosie's like, oh, we'll go follow him. Like, let's do videos or whatever. So I work a full day. My arms are in so much pain. I'm using my arms, obviously, with the phone. And I just have to like be like happy and in front of these like other doctors and just act like whatever. So the full day comes to an end. I'm just so like angry and upset because like at this point, it's like, okay, it's not even about the money or anything like that, but like you don't see me as a human being capable of experiencing physical pain. And that is a crazy thing, not just as my employer, but as my doctor. So I'm sitting there and I think I'm like tearing up. And Rosie is like, oh, like maybe we can see if you can get your arms drained now. And it's not even him who does it. It's the Louisiana female doctor from that practice ends up draining my arms. And she does it with a needle. And she's like, wow, that's a lot of fluid. I've never seen this much fluid in an arm lipo patient. Like, you must have been in so much pain. And I'm like, yes, I was. So we leave. We go back to Miami the next day. And the next day, I'm thinking, okay, like, I obviously worked extra time. Like, I'm going to go home because I'm not getting paid extra, whatever. And they're like, let's go to the office. Let's film a podcast. Let's do the TikTok. So we go to the office. I work another full day. I'm working for 48 hours straight, by the way. And I finally go home after, like, this whole ordeal for the weekend. And I say to my friends, I am quitting on Monday. This is literally in November. Like, I quit in March, by the way. But this is in November. I'm like, I'm quitting on Monday. I get to work on Monday, fully prepared to quit. And Rosie comes, this is what I mean. Like, she was like the emotional cleanup job. She comes into the room and she's like, San Rizzo, like, I just want to say, like, we're sorry. And like, thank you so much for coming with us to Louisiana. Like, I know you didn't have to, which like low key, they made it seem like I had to. She's like, I bought you and Megan, the other social media girl who went, AirPod Maxes. And so like I take the AirPod Maxes and I don't quit. And like, obviously accountability time, like I probably still should have fucking quit. But it's just, you don't understand. Like, I'm good friends with her at this point. And like, I'm telling her.
The internal battle for quitting a job is so deep. It's deeper than a lot of people know. Like, because it'd be like, one, do you really need the money? Two, is your mental health that important over the money? And then three, do you have something lined up right after? See me, I'm a risky bitch. I'll be quitting without anything lined up. Ask anybody that know me in real life, Pierre gonna quit. I don't care. Like, it's just like, I'm not gonna let anybody play in my face and think they're gonna get away with it. Like, it's just like, no, it's not in me. It's just not in me. I can't do it no more.
About my life as much as I can. But like, there's also parts of me that I'm like hiding from everyone. So like, I just feel like I'm faking it at home. I'm faking it with my family. I'm faking it at work. And I'm just like, bro, like, it's just like the easy thing for me to do is just like take the AirPod Maxes and just move on with my day. And like, okay, I'm going to quit soon. Just like, I can't handle this right now. This is another story, which is like an aside, but I have to say it because this was actually so hurtful to me. So I had applied for Survivor and I went through the entire casting process. I was a finalist. So I obviously did not make it on the show, but I had to tell my employers because I was going to be gone for 3 months. This is like my dream come true. And when I had to tell them, I'm the kind of person, I hate telling people things until it happens. Like, I don't want anyone to jinx it and I don't want negative opinions. So I had to tell them, but I didn't want to tell them. And
Facts. Y'all, oh my God. This girl I relate to on so many levels. Do not ever tell people, especially when it comes to a show. Child, I don't even be telling my family members when I'm in the process for shows and stuff like that. Child, ain't none of them ever go through anyways, but regardless, don't tell nobody, okay? Because people be praying that you don't get casted on them motherfuckers. I swear to God. Damn, that sucks. And I can see her on Survivor too, because if y'all that watch Survivor, she reminds me of Dee from Survivor. That winner.
impressed on them, like, please, 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 this is very important to me personally. I don't want you to say anything to anyone. I have to tell you because you're my employer and I might be gone. And they're like, okay. The next day, or maybe that same afternoon, I walk into the OR and he has told the entire OR staff, who I think, I'm pretty sure, they did not really fuck with me. Like, they thought I was like annoying because they're really serious people. And like, I would be in there, like asking to do TikToks and stay later than like they usually do. And they would have to, because he would force them to. But like, they just thought I was like I had a silly job, whatever. So when I went in there, they were like all making fun of the survivor thing. And I was just like, I literally felt like a kid getting bullied at like the lunchroom table. I'm like, bro, like I tell you, it's just my dream. Like, please don't say anything. And you just don't like have enough like ability to understand other people that you just go shit on, like literally shit on that and laugh on it. Like I went to my office and I sobbed, like literally sobbed. And of course,
man.
Rosie has to come and do the cleanup job. And mind you, I think that obviously he does not give a fuck about anybody's feelings because he just like literally can't read social cues. But I think he felt like extra comfortable because I was around them so much. Like because of my friendship with Rosie, like I would be at their family dinners. I would go to family vacations, which were also like partially work. I would like their sons.
There was one year I remember I almost got on Big Brother. Child, I didn't tell my family until I got cut. That's how bad I wanted to be on there and then wanted to get Jinx, child. I ain't tell nobody until literally I got cut. And then I was like, oh, I was gonna be on here, but I ain't get on. That sucks. That really, really sucks. As somebody who loves competition reality shows, that feeling that she felt, especially after experiencing that and not getting on, I know like hurt her to her core.
Comes to the office and hang around their son. So like I was very like around their family, like probably more than any other employee has ever been, which is why like people might not have the same experience as me. Because no one knew them that well, you know what I mean? And it was just constantly like me being like, bro, like actually that's fucking crazy of you to do. And him being like, and Rosie be like, doctor, like say sorry. And he'd be like, yeah, I guess I'm sorry. Like he just doesn't like, it's just like a hard person to work for. So it's like the pay is not there. And then on top of that, like, I just feel like you're a shitty ass person. And this story that I'm going to tell, I'm sorry, I have to make this part into two parts. This story I'm going to tell actually puts everything together for you to understand like the kind of person he is. Why I left, before I can get into like the next part, which is supposed to be a continuation of the other one, I have to talk about my faults in all of this. Because obviously I'm giving you like a highlight reel of all the bad things that happened. And so like I kind of have to give you a highlight reel of all the ways I was wrong, because 2 years can't pass without someone reflecting deeply on a whole situation and not come to some sort of conclusion that you are complicit and part of your fucking destiny. I feel like George Washington when he was like, I'm nevertheless too sensible of my defects not to think it probable that I may have committed many errors. Like, number one, I fucked up. Like, I should never have had a personal relationship with their family. But to be fair with you, like, it's hard. Like, I went from having jobs with like people that were my age and that I like am still friends with to this day, like best friends with, that like for me work was like synonymous with like fun, kind of. Like I never not like loved my coworkers and had a informal relationship with them. And so like with Rosie, she didn't really seem like my boss. She kind of felt like my friend. I won't say the same about the doctor. Like he was more like Rosie's family member, so I felt like I could talk to him however, but like I didn't really have like obviously a friendship with him, like no way. But with Rosie, it was more like I just felt like, yeah, you're my friend, why not? And like we confided so much in each other. And I know everyone's like watching this back and being like, girl, like work is not play, like play is not work. But like when you're 23 and that's like all you've known, that's like how you think. And I don't necessarily believe that work can't be personal, even to this day. But it definitely was like error number fucking one. And I think what made it so bad was that the personal relationship that I had with Rosie, who was my boss, made it hard for me to like really speak my truth. And that's the problem with like taking work home and like being too personal, is that like when it's just a corporate thing, you can tell someone go to hell. Like you could be very strict with your standards and your boundaries, and you could talk about money, you could talk about like deliverables and all these things because it's just work. But for me, it wasn't that. And so it was hard for me to really be honest about how I felt, because I didn't want to feel like I just didn't want to feel like I was offending anyone or making anyone feel like they're making me uncomfortable. It's just like really, really weird. And that is my fault. Like I played a part in that. Another thing is I had a boss, her name was Yami. Bro, she told me something that I will forever remember in my life. She said, "You are not a tree." She was like, "You are not a tree. You are not stuck."
You are not a tree. You can move. Shout out to Stormy Wellington, okay? You are not a tree. You can move. Ain't that what Stormy said? Man. The problem is in this whole story is like, this is what a lot of jobs will do too. They'll make you think the worst thing a job could tell you, we're a family. When they hit you with that, girl, run. We're a family. You know, we work like a family, a team, a family. Yeah, that's code words for we're going to gaslight the hell out of you. If you think that you'll be able to do anything that you want to do, and we're going to take advantage of you mentally, so that way you don't want to leave and you think this is the best you can do in life. Straight up.
Anywhere. Like you can get up and you can move. And if you don't like something, you should go. And I'm not a tree, and I was never a tree. And there are so many times that I could have just gotten up and left. And I truly, because I've done it before, I truly believe that had I not had all this other shit going on, I would have. Like, I think it would have happened sooner, but I was just so like mentally, and I'm not emotional because of the job. Like, I'm emotional because of like, I remember how I felt at that time, but like about my personal life, I truly feel like had I not been in such a like bad place, I could focus on something else, and I couldn't at the time. And lastly, like, I am not too stupid to know that in telling you guys, like, this is not the kind of person that I fuck with, I am admitting that I helped platform someone who I don't think that people would fuck with, you know? So, like, that is also wrongdoing on my part. And there's, like, no excuse for that. I could just only tell you how I felt in the moment, which is, like, I had no support system. I had transitioned into this new career. I had nothing to rely on. I had no like support. And for me, it was just like, this is a job. I sometimes might not agree with it, but I need this like day to day. And I think that is like the thing that most people can relate to, because it's like that is the circumstance for most fucking people in America. It's like you are so inundated with like the troubles of day to day that you can't see the bigger picture. And it's like a privilege to be able to like take a moral stance sometimes, and doing the right thing sometimes is a privilege. Regardless, it could have been done. I could have done it and I didn't do it. And so with all of that said, that is why I left. Could have left sooner. This is my part. I am, you know, if I gotta give you his side, I gotta give you my side. And yeah, I'm gonna post the next part. Okay, part 4, why I left.
You see, she all right with me, okay? Because anybody in a job, you're not 100% innocent. So I love the fact that she was able to take accountability in that, because that is true. You did help platform somebody who you, in your opinion, has said that you don't think is a good person. So you have made this person millions of dollars and push his popularity out there. Because I do remember at that time she was working for him, his videos used to go viral because a lot of the TikToks he would make and the videos he would make would be in relation to certain news that's going on as of like the day of the airing. You get what I'm saying? So it's like it was very smart the way it was done. Very, very smart.
Okay, this is the real part 4 of why I left Dr. Miami. I labeled the previous one part 4, was really part 3, but this is like the continuation to like his personality. And it's just this one specific story that blew my mind. And I think when this happened, I could not move past this. This was like my breaking point, I think, where I was like, the end is near. So I actually misspoke before when I said all he cares about is money. He actually only cares about his family. And he has a humongous family and he provides for all of them. So he needs money to provide for them. So his bottom line is money because he needs to finance the whole family, which is commendable, honestly. Regardless, they would go on religious holidays for like 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time. And during that time, the practice would be shut down and they wouldn't be making money because he wasn't doing surgery. And this is not speculation. This is something Rosie told me. When he would come back from these long periods of times, he would be on everyone's ass like Donkey Kong, but like on a different level. And she would be like, it stresses him out that he's not making money during that time. So when he gets back, he's psycho. And so that happened one time. And when he came back, he was like, social media is stupid. I don't know what the fuck your job is. You're kind of useless. Like, I remember him just telling me like, your job is dumb and pointless. Like, I don't even know why you're here, which is crazy. Because at the time it was peak Dr. Miami. I was like, bro, if you're not happy now, like, I don't know what to tell you, brother. So he's like, we need to make money on the individual videos. And I'm like, I'm just trying to say anything to get them off my back because I'm fed up. Like, I'm so exhausted at this time. So I'm like, well, there's a creativity beta program, which is if you make a video over 1 minute, you get paid a lot per view. So I'm like, yeah, maybe we could try that. And Rosie's like, that's perfect. Let's do scrub in with me's. And like, get ready with me, but scrub in. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever you say, I'm gonna do. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm just meeting the minimum requirement. I'm still doing my regular job perfectly.
Which, by the way, TikTok, I don't like TikTok because they be trying to mess with the algorithm and not push those longer videos out there because they don't want to pay its creators. And this is another reason why I'm not a big TikTok fan. Not only that, too, they don't have any human people behind the app. So if your video or platform gets snatched, it's like near to impossible to even get contacted with a human person. It's all AI and robot. I don't like that. And also, another thing I'm gonna add to it, the girls have turned TikTok into Bigo, and it's just not it's no more, in my opinion. Y'all really have turned this app into Bigo, and it's really sad to see it because it ain't used to be like that. So Bigo's no longer, but TikTok has taken over. That's how I see it.
But like this whole making you more money per video, I actually could not give less than a fuck. So we do it, it pops off. He gets like $800 for one video, and he's like so excited. He's like, okay, I'm gonna do this every day for 30 days, and in a month I'll make $24,000, and like boom. But I tell him, if you do this every day, you're gonna exhaust it. No one's gonna like it. You're not gonna get the same views, and that's exactly what happened. So he's like, I'm getting to the part, guys. So simultaneously, I'm using the creativity beta program because I'm looking for a way out, and I'm like, if I could make like an extra $800 a month, I could change my circumstance. Like, I'm in a bad place, but I'm like, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I have this idea to do behind the scenes, like recording his TikTok videos, like hella meta. And it was perfect because it didn't take any extra time out of the day from him. It didn't require a lot for me to edit it. And I would edit it to be 1 minute and 1 second. And I would only post it once a month so I can make like $800 or something similar to that. And I felt like I had hit the gold mine. It had only happened once before he noticed it, and his shit was flopping. And he was like, hey, I saw that video you posted. It was so funny. And I'm like, thank you. Ha ha ha. He's like, let's post those videos on my account instead. So I tell him no, but like for 1 full week, he would come to work and like fight me on it, then concede, then come the next day, fight me on it, concede, fight me on it, concede. And I explained to him, I'm like, this one video, you would wipe your ass with the money it makes. You want to put until it doesn't even like amount to anything. And I just want to post it once a month so that I don't have to ask you for a raise again and you don't have to turn me down again. Like, I'm just like, I felt so demoralized in that moment because I have felt like I was going through so much shit and I had taken so much rejection in terms of like trying to better my fucking circumstance. And it's like such a slap in the face. I would go to work and I would be like miserable, and he'd be like, well, why don't you just do this? And I'm like, I don't have the money, the circumstance to do that. Like, it's so easy for you to say that. And then finally I find something that's like, boom, I'm not inconveniencing anyone. It's not taking away from my job. It's not doing anything. And he just wants to take it from me because he can. And the worst part is like, I would be like, Rosie, he's going to wipe his ass with that money. Like, I don't get it. And she's like, it's not about the money for him. He finds it really funny. And I'm like, that's so bad because it is about the money for me and I need it. So the fact that he is like insisted on taking it from me when it's just shits and giggles to him, it like literally made me so like need it. So the fact that he is like insisted on taking it from me when it's just shits and giggles to him. It like literally made me so like, whoa, you really don't give a fuck about me as a human being. And at one point, Rosie tells me, well, you know what? He is entitled to those videos. And I'm like, no, he's not. What? I'm in all of your videos. And she's like, well, he's at least entitled to half. And I'm like, how's he entitled to half? And she's like, because he's in your videos. And I'm like, how much money have you guys made from the videos I'm in that I never got a part of? And she's like, that's a part of your employment. And I was like, well, a part of my employment contract, part of the reason you hired me is because I had my own following. And it was an understanding that he would be in my content and I would be in his content. But he's never been in my content because I don't post, because I'm so obsessed with your account and Bella's account and everyone else's account that like we've never even crossed that bridge. So she's like, you know what, you're right, but like there's no like winning with him. I'm gonna try to talk to him, whatever. So because again, like I don't even know what I was thinking, but I was like, I tell him, I'm like, I get it, like you think it's funny, like I'm going to make 2 behind the scenes. I'm gonna post one for me this weekend and one on your account this weekend. And that's the plan. That weekend, it's Sunday. It's the only day a week that I don't like talk to anyone that I work with. Like I just post the videos and I go about my business. And he texts me and he's like, are you going to post a TikTok? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, the Queen Charlotte one. And I'm like, no, the Queen Charlotte one is for my account. The OR one is for your account. Like we talked about this. And he's like, I want both. And I was just like, why are you doing this? Like I literally said to him, I'm like, no, like, why are you being so greedy? And he's like, stop being a baby and just do what your boss says. And for me, it was just like, this is you. Like, this is you as a person. Like, no matter how many times someone explains something to you, no matter how many boundaries they try to fucking put, you don't care. The only thing you care about is what's right in your mind. And what's right in your mind is shits and giggles and popularity and being funny and making.
Not Dr. Miami, the real Mr. Krabs. Ha! Dr. Miami is the real Mr. Krabs. He said, I need the money. Okay? That's crazy as hell. And also another problem too is this is why, like, if you're like an influencer, it's like somebody building up like your platform, you should not be working under somebody if you have your own significant building a platform. Like, don't get me wrong, you could always learn from other people, but working directly under them while you have your own situation, it's not gonna work. Like, that's like me going to working for another YouTuber. Like, that would be kind of crazy. Like, it just would be a big conflict of interest. And I think that's what started to happen. Now, if she was like a marketing social media manager that doesn't have her own social media that's booming, things probably would have went differently, and she probably would have been okay with some of the stuff that's going on. Not all of it, don't get me wrong, because it still would probably get others to quit. But I think her having her own social media with a huge following, because right now her TikTok has over 700K followers, that in itself is already a conflict of interest.
Making money and all these things, but like when there's a real person in front of you who is like helping you be successful day in, day out, and they're asking you for like the bare minimum, which is to just let them have something that they're entitled to and doesn't take away from you, you refuse to let them have it. But so you understand the timeline. That happened in October. My arm lipo happened in October. The trip to Louisiana happened in November. The AirPod Maxes happened in November. It was like my family stuff began in September. So like it was the end of the year that was just so bad for me. But like each thing was just like one after the other, after the other, after the other. And I was just like, this is so bad. I have to go dark. Like I was just like, I just need to put my head down and just continue, because I can't until March comes around. And then it comes a day that I finally fucking quit. That's going to be the last part, which is next. I mean, this is politics. Now, you guys know okay, last part, why I left Dr. Miami. This is politics. Now, you guys know I'm the woker. I've been the woker since I started this account. I was posting in 2020, no followers, no audience. If I believe some shit, I'm gonna say it. And is this the first boss I've had that couldn't be more diametrically opposed to me politically? No. But it is the first circumstance where my image is tied to another person. And if you don't want to pay me, that's okay. And if you want to treat me like shit, that's fine too. But you will not make me die on a hill that I don't want to die on. And you will also not make tens of thousands of people believe that I think what you think. That will never happen. So March 2023, I come into the office and my phone is blowing up and people are commenting because they're saying me from Dr. Miami's account, I'm blocking a bunch of accounts and comments of people saying hashtag save Dr. Sarah, who was a doctor stuck in a hospital that was getting endlessly bombed in Gaza. I actually would never delete or block those comments. I thought it was genius that Operation Olive Branch had used like super viral accounts to spread awareness and engagement through the comments. I thought it was genius. Like, I couldn't have thought of that strategy myself. I would have never blocked or deleted those comments, but I get to work and this man has done it all
I don't know
while
about
I'm asleep.
y'all. This sounds like a big ass lawsuit. Now, the problem is though, it's been a couple years since all this went down. So it's like, did the statutes of limitations pass? Because this sounds like a fat lawsuit, huge, especially if she had proof. Because at the end of the day, whether her job was a quote unquote silly job, it's still a job. Damn.
I'm like, hell no. I'm fuming. Rosie's like, chill. I'm fuming. I'm like, Rosie, this is actually crazy. This is like actually insane. And she's like, let's record the podcast. And then we're just going to record the podcast and then you can go home because we know you're mad. You can never leave without a little day's work. So we go to the podcast, but I'm obviously not fucking listening to the podcast, guys. Like, they're telling a story about some crime in plastic and I'm scrolling on my phone. And this guy has the audacity to be like, like, what are you looking at on your phone? And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? What am I looking at my phone? I'm looking at the fucking. So I'm going back and forth with this guy. I'm screaming like, I'm literally like, bro, I already came in like, I'm done. But then when he had the audacity to be like, what are you looking at? Again, he doesn't think anything is serious. So I get up and I'm like, I'm done. And I go to the elevator to leave and Rosie's like, send Rizzle. And I'm like, I don't know, Rosie. The elevator closes and I leave. But meanwhile, they had a furniture collab that was scheduled to be recorded the next week. Like, all the furniture arrived and the furniture people were coming to the office to record the brand deal, their contractually obligated brand deal. And of course, whose ideas did they need? Me. So after I left the office, I did not speak to the Dr. Miami people for like a week. And the furniture people reached out to me and they were like, hey, we're thinking about this idea and this idea. And I'm like, oh, I actually quit. You should text Rosie. And then Rosie's like, wait, just found out from the furniture people that you quit. And I'm like, was no one else in the room with me? Like, I literally detonated and then never spoke to you.
You know, it's crazy. You know, a job is toxic when like you either quit or you look like you about to quit and they still delusional thinking you want to be there. Like, they can't even read the signs.
Again, and you think that I'm coming back to work, but you know what? Valid. I guess I didn't expressly say I quit. So I'm talking to my mom and she's like, son, you need to be a professional. Like, you already didn't quit with any notice. Like, you left them hanging. Like, just go do the brand deal thing. Like, not even for his sake, but like for the furniture people. Like, they're gonna catch a stray for no reason. So I'm like, and I show up to record the brand deal for them. Guys, I have dumb bitch written on my forehead. So I do the couple hours of filming. I'm about to leave and then something happens, but like, doesn't matter. Rosie is like, we would love to speak to you. This part blows my fucking mind. And I obviously, like, at this point, everyone understands that I'm quitting. So she takes me into Dr. Miami's office. We're sitting on these little chairs and she says, doctor, I don't know if you know, but Santina's quit. And this guy turns around and says, what? Why? And I, again, detonate. I didn't know you could detonate twice. I start going crazy. I'm screaming. I'm crying. I'm like, I can't stand you. I can't stand you. And he's like, okay, so do you want to make, like, literally I'm going crazy. And he's like, what did he say? He was like, so what, do you want to do like a little TikTok saying goodbye? And I'm like, what? No, like, I hate you. Like, I'm literally like, I don't hate anyone, but like, I'm literally going crazy. And he's like, you're just going to leave the audience hanging? And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Bro, like, I was like, this is you, bro. Nothing phases you. Like, nothing is right or wrong. All you care about is the little clout that you can get here and then and the next. A little giggle that someone might fucking give you. You're a jester. You're a jester. Anyway, so I come down and I'm just like, I need to get out of this conversation. So they're like, Rosie's like apologizing, of course. And I think his son is in the room. And she's like, well, maybe you could, okay, she's like, maybe you could teach his son like how to post so he could take over. And I'm like, it's not clicking to anybody. And because I always had this is March, by the way, I always had hella backlog of videos to post because the best at my job, they post videos that I had made for like 1 full week after I quit. Like they're posting. And then they wait to announce that I quit on April 1st. It is the perfect ending. The perfect ending for a fucking jester. You announce that I quit on April 1st when all we do is joke on the internet. Obviously, the entire internet thinks it's a joke, but that is a strategic decision. And they post that before I could say anything. And the caption is like, pop off, queen, or whatever the fuck it is, because they want to let people know or make people think that I left in a positive manner. Either that's the image they want to put out there, or that's genuinely how he felt, which either one could be fucking true. I'm not sure. But that's why I quit. And that's how I quit. And I made the decision to not say anything, not just for myself and my peace. Because at the time I was like, yo, I'm out of a job, need to find another job. You can't talk shit about one employer and expect to get another one. That was number one. I didn't say anything because I know how the internet is. Even now, my videos, I'm seeing other people summarize it like a game of telephone, like not even what I said. So I knew that aspect. I was already in a bad place, made worse. And then number three, I do genuinely feel like there were people who worked there, his family members, that I did not want them to catch any strays. Like, even like, obviously Rosie was a part of this story, but I do genuinely feel like she was my friend, like to this day. And I think that her trying to rectify all the situations was out of care for me. Like, I know you guys are gonna think like, bitch, you're like manipulated, but it's not true. Like, she wouldn't rectify the situation if it was like somebody else. And I think she made the effort because she cared about me. But at the end of the day, she is a part of the family business, and it's a family business, and the family business is always going to come first, which is something like I can understand, but just in hindsight, it's like, damn. Regardless of the situation, me deciding not to say anything led to so much speculation. And the part that really upset me the most is that every time there was some sort of conversation between why I left or this or that, the next, it always came down to me versus another woman. It was always like, who cares if Santina left? The new girl's better. Or I don't like the new girl. Santina was better. And to me, that was the part that I was like, bro, this is worst case scenario. Because the fact that no one could see the common denominator between all of us is one man is the fucking issue. And to this day, people are like, even about the people who worked before me, oh, they were the OGs, she's not. I don't need to be pitted against another woman. Everyone is doing their best in every capacity, and we are working in the same exact position for the same exact person. So if a conversation is to be had, it's about the common denominator, not us, and definitely not us against each other. And that's my fucking piece. And I said it. And if you're still here, crazy as hell, morning shift, or this is afternoon shift, the comments were actually fucking killing me, guys. Even though I was having a panic attack, I still kind of am. The comments, the morning, afternoon, night shift comments were sending me. But yeah, that is why I left Dr. Miami. Let's let it die now.
All right, so Dr. Miami did reply back to all of this. In the TMZ article this is coming from, they said Santina had a couple of viral TikTok posts where she complained about being undervalued by Dr. Miami. It was denied a raise after boosting his social media engagement and follower count. It's not just finances, Santina claims, but Dr. Miami told her she needed liposuction on her arms, provided the surgery, then sent her on a workshop where she complained about pain. Santina said she had to get her arms drained on another trip by another doctor. Dr. Miami tells TMZ he saw Santina as a daughter, not an employee. He says she came to his home for Shabbat dinners, Shabbat Shalom, and traveled with his family to Israel. The doc says their relationship was close and like family. It adds, when it comes to family and business, there's a risk, but we take that risk. Everyone that works here is family. Dr. Miami said he's sad she moved on and is more sad she had that experience. He says he doesn't want to invalidate what she's expressing, but says from his perspective, his team is happy and paid well. He says there's no bad blood on his end, and he's forever grateful for the work she did for his social media presence and wishes her the best and would hire her back. That nigga's a piece of crap. How you gonna listen to all the stuff she been through and think she gonna want to go back and work for your ass? As for Santina's liposuction claims, Dr. Miami tells us, I have a very different perspective. I'm a plastic surgeon. I'm supposed to make patients feel better. People come to me with insecurities. I don't create insecurities. Not sure what she's referring to. Her big ass arms. The surgery went beautifully. I would never put her at risk in any way. In regards to the situation with her arms, I don't remember details, but remember she did get drained by another office. Okay. Just from that statement alone, you could kind of clearly tell that like he's a piece of EPOS just because the opportunity of her working for him again, it's kind of pathetic. Now, since then, Santina has posted about her desire wanting to work for wanting to do Survivor, which it would be pretty funny though if she did get casted, just because of this whole story time. The girl does seem entertaining, so I wouldn't mind it. Let me know what y'all think down below about all this. Have y'all had a freaking monstrous boss like this? I've had somebody very similar work for somebody very similar to this, to the point where they would gaslight you, shower you with like food, gifts, and little stuff to make you feel better while continually treating you like crap. Okay, let me know what y'all think down below. What could have been done to make the situation better? And we are babies.